follow the pattern we had the other time. We all need to come. I've had some extensive deliberation with a lot of people, and I'm getting some hope that everybody is ready. I mean, how people have differences, everybody have their opinion as to how we should go about it, but everybody agree that we definitely need a new Nigeria and we all need to have work on building her. Another thing that I have noticed, and that will form the conversation that we have today. How many of you noticed that it's almost looking like our leaders are kind of not ready to move at the pace that is needed. Mohammed, I think I don't know. I'm not the host, so I don't know. You want to make
Yeah, I've made Eric the host so I can do the needful on this training.
okay, beautiful. Okay, I think he has started. So okay, we're live now. Welcome everyone, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube. Eric, please put the Zoom link for those who still want to join us via Zoom. So today's conversation I'll be anchoring with TMO, and we'll be Mohammed will be taking notes. So we'll be having a lot more of extensive discussion today. Also, we're going to be having Deepo Adesina, who will be sharing with us what he's done so far. Deepo is based in the US, and he'll be sharing with us what he's done so far to kind of try and concretize um, the new Nigerian youth movement that we discussed we're going to start. Also, a young man called Izu Wama. Izu is a very big strategist. Also, is going to be joining us today to talk about the structure that we need to put in place for a youth movement that can help us build Nigeria. One of the things I've realized at the wake of the Lekki shooting is a lot of gaps. Have you noticed that no youth is talking out there, right? There's no organized, structural, young body that is kind of having conversation around what is next. Okay, the protest was hijacked, but what's next? What do we want government to do? So it's more of government alone is the one talking. So we need to begin to discuss that. Also, I want to propose that tomorrow we have a press conference. If you agree, type I agree. If you don't agree, type I don't agree. Where we address, the aftermath of the Lekki shooting. We address the need to have 50% young people in the judicial panel of inquiry, where we need to have a youth to be the co-chair of the judicial panel of inquiry, and also where even the governor himself can be called to give account of what happened in the night of the shooting, in such a way where the judicial panel of inquiry is independent and it's not as if, and also that the report of judicial panel will also be submitted to the House of Assembly in Lagos State so that whatever will come out of it can also have legislative backing. How many of you agree that this is probably needed? Because nobody is talking out there. I've expected the feminist coalition to have, given some statements in this direction. I even had thought maybe a FALS will have had conversation in this direction. It's almost like everybody is still angry and want to still go back to protest. And like I said, I'm not against anybody wanting to protest. It's a lawful right as long as it's peaceful. But we need to start engagement. Again, if you agree, type I agree. If you don't agree, just type I don't agree. But I think we should come to that point where we should start engagement. So this is our conversation. This is the conversation we need to focus on today. I'm going to start with to hear TMO's view, and then TMO will call on Deepo Adesina after that, and then everybody can then jump on the conversation. Yeah, so TMO, go ahead.
Okay, so I I believe that the challenge we're having now is that nobody wants to be the face of any movement. nobody wants to be the face, because when you are the face, they can carry you. So that's why we're not in that engagement you're asking. You see, you were
Are
saying
you
that
kidding me?
why is there sort of like a radio silence ongoing right
Wait,
now?
Temo, are you kidding me? Is anybody afraid of death with what we saw in the wake of Lekki shooting at this point?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
What? I
I,
mean,
I
like,
don't know. I
I
think so, because in the build up to this, we interviewed a lot of all the protesters, and everybody keeps saying, "I'm not the face. I'm not the face. I'm not the face." So the challenge is, one person cannot be the face, obviously, but we need to have a group of people willing to take ownership for the fact that they believe in this struggle and they are willing to take out the time. Fowles, I remember watching one of his live videos, said that he also believes that there should be a young person part of the people that canvass the protesting of this campaign. But he now mentioned that he doesn't believe he should be the one. He doesn't believe he should be the one. So, and that's the thing. Everybody keeps saying that I don't believe I should be the one. I think it should be a you know,
yeah, is your
everybody
connection?
shouldn't be that ideal person of this campaign.
Is it my connection or Tiemo's connection? I'm struggling to hear.
My con-
So we can hear her clearly.
Am I good?
Yes,
So
we can hear you clearly.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, they couldn't hear me. That's a surprise.
But
Okay,
go
so I'm
ahead
of the
now. Go
opinion.
ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, you can hear. I'm of the opinion that where it stands now, I 100% agree with that. There's need for engagement. There's need for someone who is going to be moving. But nobody wants to. Nigeria has a challenge. We have a challenge that nobody wants to die for the country. You know, it's a thing we say, I cannot come and kill myself for Nigeria. So for Nigeria will just move on. Everybody's taking a backseat. They don't want to be the one pushing for more. Most people talking concerning a new Nigeria right now are the old generation. I'm seeing those older people in their 40s, 50s, are the ones talking more than the younger ones. They're the ones leading the conversation in terms of strategy. When I check Twitter, the 50s mainly say 40s, 50s are leading strategic conversation points. I believe that I want to push the bulk of the move for a new Nigeria to our religious leaders, because I believe they are the ones that can galvanize on a huge scale. So I want our church leaders to, and we do have young church leaders. People like Godman Akilabi is a young church leader. He's a young person, but he's also a church leader. We have, so because any other person, they will dig up something from you. It's not like I believe pastors are perfect, but pastors seem to have that sort of integrity to speak up. But every other person, they will dig up something from them.
Pastors are afraid now because remember, TMO, that the spokesman of the president. Please, can we mute ourselves, please? I don't know. Is that your son? TMO, is that your son? Your son?
Samuel, you need to go. Bye-bye.
Samuel, how are you?
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay. Well, so I feel that even pastors, because you heard the spokesperson to the president saying that he blames imam, mosques and churches, for part of what happened. So I don't even feel that you probably want to see pastors, take ownership. But this is my own argument. It's not about taking ownership or not. Some youth body has to start conversation with the government. That's what I'm saying. I expect Feminist Coalition to have started that, but they are not doing that. Now, can we do that? Because one of the unique thing about all of us here is we're not really, we can't really say we're at the forefront of the protest, but we're concerned, and some of us also participated in the protest. Okay, but and also what's unique also about this movement is that we have people from all over the world. I mean, you saw yesterday, everybody. I mean, we struggled to have over 100 people on Zoom, and of course, a lot of people are watching also on Facebook, and and we have people from all over the world who are here. So we have that unique composition of people from all over. We can appoint some of us today, have a press conference tomorrow, and begin to and address and just talk. We don't need to have been the face or the leaders of the end protest. I mean the end SARS rather, but speak
But
as regards to, first of all, what do we condemn as to what happened? We condemn the Lekki shooting. We condemn the invasion of the Oba of Lagos Palace. We condemn, the arson that took place. However, we also still have certain demand that we feel could help to engage the youth in the panel of inquiry. So what will then happen with that is we could midwife. I don't know whether you get my point now. That journey,
100%.
we could midwife that journey, because what is happening now is government is said to be a guilty party as to having been the one to order the shooting. The NSAS protesters have been labeled as liars, as people who are spreading false information. So you kind of need some people to be like in the middle, but who are still also young
In
people.
between.
Yes, but who are still young people who can still, speak for the youth. Else, because I mean, look at the composition. We have from retired Justice. We had, I mean, quite a lot of older people trying to again come and decide the fate of young people. They can't even understand what we're saying here. The panel does have social media handle. If young people go, one of the things that will make this work is that when the entire hearing is streamed live, like Okuta panel, not necessarily on television, but on Facebook, on Twitter, that is young people that can initiate those conversations as to how do we go about this whole thing. So again, what do you think? Is this the right move?
So the biggest problem I believe that we have, one of the biggest problem we have, and I know that it's been mentioned, I think 2 days ago, is that members of if you've heard this, if you've heard this, they don't say pinches. So you're just seeing a bunch of people protesting and complaining. You people just like complaining. You're just disturbing yourself. That's like the posture they've taken. Even you hear things like, it's because we quickly answered you. Oh, before you will not answer us. You know that these people don't understand that they are meant to serve us. Oh, because we answered you for answers, you now decided to do, oh, okay, so you would have answered us before. So there's that posture of authority and every other person servants to them. And so they feel in character to be confront level of leadership, a level of accountability. It's extremely uncomfortable for them. And like you said, there are two sides now. So how do we now how do we create that neutral body that will say a little to the left, a little to the right? The challenge, another thing currently, if you say anything in the government, you are going to be so saying is fair, even if what you are saying is a fact. The fact that you make any statement that can seem to sympathize with the government, you are in trouble. But with the NSAS report of what happened in Lekki, but nobody is saying it. If you dare say it, you will be attacked. So those are the problems. We have Twitter and Instagram warriors that are going to fight anybody that's, even media houses are scared to speak up the truth because of the fear of social media backlash. So a set of you that do not want to hear the truth, that feel like it's only my way or no other way.
But again, Deepa, this, what do you think here? Because there's an impasse here. There's an impasse, and that gap is still there. Hello, Deepa, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Join us from Baltimore, right?
I'm actually in transit right now. I'm at the airport.
Where Nigeria? You're going to Nigeria?
Of course, man.
Hey, Deepa coming to come and deliver us.
no. But no, so seriously, right? So I've been listening to what's being said and what's going on social media. And it's rightly said, a lot of people are afraid. But what I also think is that young people are looking for somebody to follow, right? Because the challenge we have right now is that there's no organization stepping up. There's no one looking to step up to be a leader. But if you notice that since yesterday, when we decided to announce that, we're starting a movement, you see the response that we're getting. And we haven't even
crazy.
We haven't even done anything yet.
Filled up the Telegram.
You see what I'm saying? So and what we're setting up is nothing against the government. And I want to be clear about that, right? We're not attacking the government. We're setting up a movement to redirect the future of Nigeria, the Nigeria that we want to see, right? So there's so many philosophies, there's so many pillars that we're setting up to ensure that we're distinguishing ourselves from any other chaotic organization or what young people are doing out there that's against what we're trying to accomplish. Now, somebody said they can't hear me. Can you hear me, Stephen?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay.
Deepo, I can hear you.
Okay,
You're good.
Perfect. So, and one of the things I want to say is this, right? For any movement that makes a difference, there is always casualties. And I always refer back to Mahatma Gandhi. I refer back to Dr. Martin Luther King. If you study anything across history and you see anytime there was a great change in a nation, people died, right? It caused awakening and stirring up something inside of people. But at the end of the day, the end result is always accomplished, right? Now, who's going to be the face of New Nigeria Youth Movement? I don't know. Could I possibly be? Yes, but I'm in the diaspora. So people might not take me seriously. But at the end of the day, a movement needs to be created that young people can identify with and that has a mission for what we're trying to accomplish. So number one of our goals is to make sure that every young person in Nigeria gets their PVC, because you are powerless if you don't have your PVC, right? In 2 years, go ahead, Stephen.
Preach it. Preach it.
Yeah. Like 2 years ago, I came to Nigeria and one of my goals was to get my PVC card, right? Even though I don't live in Nigeria, but if we're expecting a change, somebody needs to inspire our generation on things that needs to be done. Why we need to vote. For a very long time in the United States, I never voted, right? Because I thought that my vote never counted. But now we're seeing that one single person's vote carries weight. So we're talking about giving your PVC card. We're talking about setting up young people across different local government to start taking leadership positions. But we can't do that when people don't have an organization to identify with. And I believe that what we're setting up now is something that's going to bring a massive change to Nigeria. People are just waiting for somebody to give them something to believe in, right?
So I agree with that. I agree with people needing leadership. That I believe is the biggest problem we have. And I think one of the biggest challenge that the NSAS movement faced is that there was no direct leader saying,
exactly,
calm down, let's move. So we were hearing things like during the Lekki, that day, 20th of October 2020, the protesters were told to sit down and wait out a curfew. So for me, and what I've been trying to ask, who told you? Who did that announcement?
Right.
Who said sit down? Who said it? Nobody is saying they said it, but they told them. Someone said sit down, and that person went home. So when we now have shootings taking place, who would have directed them to say, okay, guys, let's find a solution? Maybe we shouldn't sit out. Maybe we should stay somewhere and wait. No, there needs to be that rallying force. However, another area that I want you to help us solve is because we have this challenge of the national confab. During the confab, I watched an interview that former President Jonathan did, saying that until we implement the national confab, we will not be able to move forward because that's friends had like a lot of representation. I didn't have enough youth representation. So what can the Nigeria organizations for Nigeria, this goal, I want a country that I'll be proud of. I want that's referendum. What will be the line items of a referendum? What will be the line items of our demand? How do we create that paper, that white paper that every young person will believe that this represents what I want for Nigeria? Because now we say, I believe in this paper. Somebody from Calabar will say, I believe in this. If you do everything in this document, I am good.
Yeah, that's a great point. And like I said, in some of the groups we've created.
Go ahead, Dipo. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, like we said, in some of the groups that we created, we're still in the process of creating our mission, our vision, our strategies, right? Things that when people see them, it's easy for them to identify with, because like you rightly said, part of and this is not, and I want to say this very clearly because I kind of saw some comments in the group. This is not a religious group. All right. We don't need any pastor leader. We don't need any imam leader. This is not a political group. We don't need any APC, PDP, or whatever leader. This is simply a movement to gather all people in Nigeria, young people, to believe in a cause. One of the biggest problems we have in Nigeria is that people want to support their own people. Okay. You have Muslims want to support Muslims. Yeah. Christians want to support Christians. That's what's causing division and problems in Nigeria. We need to understand the importance of diversity and why we need to work as one to accomplish to accomplish the goal that we're looking for. And that is why as we're working on this document, like you rightly said, any sensible Nigerian that sees, our goals, what our aim is, in their right state of mind, will want to become part of this movement, because it has nothing to do with your tribe. It has nothing to do with your religion. It has nothing to do with your background. It's a single common goal that we are all trying to accomplish.
Okay, so I hear that sounds very, very interesting, and I'm looking forward to that because for the longest time, the average Nigerian looks to religious leaders for hope. The average Nigerian, we don't get it from our leaders, so we look to our leaders. We look to not even politicians cast a new vision of what Nigeria should be about. And I think, and usually when that happens, when you're depending on a religious leader, the person you can say their primary assignment is to win souls, or to take people to Al Jannah or to heaven. So on platform with this movement, we taking that reign would involve us committing time. It would involve us committing time. It would involve us towards this. And I'm no longer in doubt of availability of resources, because we saw how money came in for NSAS. We saw the way when there was clarity of purpose, people just trooped in with money was flowing in to help solve the problem. But would this movement have to be registered with the CAC? Because there's something I'm sure a lot of people will have such questions. Would it have to be registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission, and things like that? Because see what they did with Showore. Showore had movement, and because the movement is spearheaded by one person, is Showore. Taking Showore out, though I'm not a party, I'm not a believer in Showore's kind of movement. Is I believe is too, in terms of posture. But because there's just one person, it's easy to put him in DSS detention and create a court injunction saying that he can't gather people together, and that's the end of the movement. How do we rally around to prevent that? And I want lawyers within, any lawyer that is here, just if you can answer that question, how do we ensure that we would have a leader, and the leader would not become, because they will not become someone that you take the person out and nobody else can talk, nobody else can organize anymore, because we are centered around one person.
Okay. Hello everybody. I hope you guys can.
Engineer Kiwande.
Okay, so I think TMO's network is shaking, but I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. I want Izu to talk here. After Izu, I also want Mr. Friday. Is a member of the Nigerian, one of the Nigerian, what's it called? What is it? Military or police now. And they are also victim of this. There are a couple of policemen that were killed. There are a couple of soldiers that were killed. And we need to hear from them, because I just don't think this conversation has to be one-sided, right? Yes, NSAS, was to end police brutality, but not all police members or those in the police are brutal or are killing people. And we need to hear from their own side too. So Pastor Friday will also come up. Izu Wama, are you there? You can unmute yourself, Izu. So a couple of things have been said. You can go ahead and add to it. Registration is also a couple of things discussed, but Izu is a strategy guy. Go ahead. Hello, Izu, are you there? You're unmuted. Izu, just unmute yourself, both your video and audio. Mohammed, can you hear me unmute Izu? Okay. So Izu, yeah, go ahead. You're unmuted now. Hello, is it me? Can you guys hear me at all?
Yes. We can hear you. We can't hear Izu. Izu isn't on yet.
Oh, okay. So let's see. Pastor Friday, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, so please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm privileged to be here and to speak this evening on this unity and on the cause we are trying to pursue. And as Engineer Akintayo have said, aside being a member of Nigeria Police, I'm also a consultant to so many firms in terms of security, and I have a full depth knowledge of what it takes in terms of police. The issue at hand has to do with end of SARS, just like so many speakers have said. It's not all police officers that are bad. Where I want to really speak on is this very forum will give us an opportunity to first of all identify what do we want as youths, or what do we want for our country. This is not a revolution. We are trying to bring government to the people on what is expected. And when I look at all the scenario, these so-called NSAS, these citizens are also from the society. So when you look at it, all these people are from Nigeria. They are not an alien. Neither are they from other country. So we have to, this is the only opportunity we have to first of all give the message to what led to where we are today. Like what one of the speakers said, that it's only the old people that are talking. So we must have to change the mentality from the inside, which is we. Once we are able to have our purpose and our agenda, of course, these people which happen to be armed, one of them which have come out, we can easily give them the right message on how to go about the modern policing. And we will ensure that youths, I don't just want to be selfish to our own unity alone, to be involved in the transformation, because so many of them don't already know what it takes to transform the reforms or the demands. That was what actually resulted to that killing. So we can come together and have a common goal and actually ask ourselves, what do we want? Do we want to retire the old men from the authority and bring in the youth? Then we must start just the way we are here. Like one of the speakers said about Shore being a one man, and when he was giving constitution, the movement stopped. But we are not a movement that want to remove. We are trying to educate citizens, young ones from different backgrounds. We have lawyers here, we have security consultants. We will have those who are right within the system, who can give you the better approach just to ensure that there is fair hearing and we have been able to transform the society without violence. Without violence, our voice will be heard. So I think we're in the right course, and I must congratulate the convener of this platform so that we can actually, first of all, identify what we want to do and how we are going to make a positive change without violence, so that we can bring our issues before the relevant authority. And once they know our agenda and our mission, they will listen to us and they will see that we are not into violence. I will be able to tell them what we have done to educate those who normally take issues like this to violence. But we must have a way to convince those in authority that this XYZ is what we have done to ensure that these people are being educated. So
Okay.
this is the area I want us to look at so that our
Thank
voice
you.
can be heard and cleared.
Thank you, Mr. Friday. And even on social media, I can see people thanking you for coming out and sharing. I also want to sympathize with all the Nigerian police and military who has lost their life. I mean, many lost their life just for doing their jobs. Not everyone died because, I believe some of the NSAS, policemen were already out of circulation. Many of them have been called to Abuja. So I won't be surprised if most of the policemen who died as a result of this were not even SAS members. So our condolences to them also, and we understand that, and I hope that Nigerian policemen know that some of this conversation was also in the interest of the police, because part of the demands for 545 was to a better welfare for the Nigerian police, which from the president's speech, is being considered already. And so, which also ultimately can help Nigerian police to have better pay, so um, I hope that is that. But to your direct question, TMO, there are a couple of issues around Shore's conversation. Now, Shore probably, and again, I'm not justifying what the government has done. I'm not in any way. But some of the argument concerning the Shore's case was that he had contested election, right, and lost, and then was now trying to lead a movement. So, that's that's a almost valid argument, even though I don't buy it. But there's that. No, you can go ahead and speak on that. But I don't see anybody stop a peaceful and a more direct engagement, a movement that is engaging. You remember that this SARS thing started with Sega about 4 years ago. And some of his method was engagement strategy.
Yeah.
Documents, go meet the government, go on TV, organize press conference. I think there's a need for that part, and that's part of what I feel. Why I'm saying a press conference needed to have happened. Now, like I said, we are not, the face of NSAS, but we can midwife. Do you see now a very, good conversation, because we're also young people, right? Because, and I think that was also what was missing. You needed to, for a movement, for a change that would be non-violent, you needed different pieces. Some people needed to come from the angle of advocacy. Some people needed to come from the angle of protest. Some people needed to come from the angle of local engagement. Some people needed to come even from the angle of carrying those who have non-violent, more violent approach, needed to find a way to engage them. Look at how Martin Luther King still found a way to engage Malcolm X, even though it was a different movement, right? And Deepa, you can talk more about this because you have a whole lot of ideas about this. There was the Martin Luther King version was peaceful movement, right? But Malcolm X was willing to go violent. But Martin Luther King still had a way to engage Malcolm X. And I feel Malcolm X would have been a lot more lethal, and they probably would have been a lot more violent in the whole Black movement if Martin Luther King wasn't still there to still once in a while engage. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel the NSAS movement had a challenge where there was nobody, to even engage. There was nobody to, and they had labeled Sega, almost like he was also part of the government. So that just, pushed that aside. So I still feel right now, if nobody from...
Please, I wanted to ask Mr.
Go ahead.
Because I realize that we rarely have people that have been in the force speaking to the problems that inside the force. But if based on my level of interactions with high-ranking officers, there are a lot of problems with the system. Many of making no excuse for the officers. Many of the officers, like the hoodlums and thugs you complain about, are a product of a deformed society. So, from the police perspective, what will be a reasonable drop of demand? How can we checkmate the excess of police officers? How can we create an internal structure? Should we depend on the IGP to police the police, or should we have an external police investigating body to do that? What would be the suggestion of Mr. Friday to this?
Yeah, Mr. Friday, you're there.
Okay, yeah, I got her question, that what will be our own watchdog to the police brutality. With the modern structure, we might not directly depend on the IG. With the gadget we have, the technology on ground, because if we have our facts and truth, we can then send it to the IG. That does not mean we now depend on him solely or monopoly. So all we need to do is to set up a third party, we call it third party watchdog, to oversee what they are doing. So once you have the truth and the facts in your hand, when you send it to the IG, you already know that even while we are sending it to the IG, which this is my constituency, because I can tell you, I have done so many investigations, intelligence investigation. If you don't have your fact and truth, we can manipulate it. But once you have the fact and truth, they can't manipulate anything. So we have to start looking at, okay, how do we build this, our third party watchdog over this police? And once we have this fact, so when we are communicating with the IG, it's for the IG to respond to us accurately without bending or without mending the net. And once the IG knows that there is a third party overseeing what they are doing, then the transparency will be there and we have a better policing environment.
Okay. Fantastic. Temo, I hope he answered you well. Hello, Temo. Okay, I'm not sure TMO is there. So I want to, first of all, before I want, how many of those of you want to also talk tonight? Our procedure is just very simple. You tell us your name, the city you're joining us from, and you type unmute me, and then we'll mute you and you come up. Did he answer your question?
Sorry. Yeah, he answers to an extent, but because we have this huge platform and I want us to be to articulate our demands well, I believe that one of the things that helped in fighting police brutality in the US is police having body cam. You see, there's nothing like having the camera footage of the account of whatever happens is very, very important. So one way I think we can reform the police, because we need the police, the breakdown of law and order that happened after the Lekki shooting was as a result of the fact that the police were taken out. So we need to have a society, human beings are this close to being anything they are whatever, with individuals looting private businesses deliberately, pure evil, stealing, not even looting, it's outright robbery. But so I'm in that space where I want to say, how can we help our police officers? We need them. We need them. So starting from the importance of having a body camera, every police officer's uniform should have a body camera. Obviously, they already said that they are going to pay police remuneration would improve for police officers. That's on one end, but don't stop politicians. They are rich. They are rich before they go into government, yet they will still steal when they get into government. So paying the police more might not necessarily mean that things will get better. But if we put in checks and balance, like having a body camera, allowing people to record with their phone, it means that if a police officer stops me, I should be allowed to bring up my record the process of engagement between. The policeman will not kick off my phone. It should be legalized. And I think it's part of what we should draw up as part of our demands. Every citizen should be allowed to record their conversation and engagement with the police officer both in the police station and outside the police station, as well as, so if I enter the police station and the police is demanding bribe from me, I am recording it. They know I have a right to record it. They also have a body camera that is recording it. That's a way to ensure we have proof, because Mr. Friday was saying that lack of proof is the reason that we don't have convictions, and that's cuts across everywhere. If we can tie up the proof, if we can get concrete proof, the face of the person that shot you, like what happened with George Floyd. The only reason George Floyd's case cannot be argued, there were cameras. So there was visuals of them doing what they can do. So the cameras should become a culture for us to have everywhere. That's another suggestion I have. then I believe that we should make use of technology. You should be able to take a picture of a corrupt police officer and post it on an independent and on or that by posting that picture, I saw this man taking bribe from inside my car. I take the picture, I zoom in, get the person's number. They would prosecute that police officer from that website independently. Until we're able to do this, we will not clean up the rot within the police force. Let me give room for other people to talk. There are many people in the comments asking to contribute towards the conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you all for your time, guys. I really appreciate this.
Mohammed, can you make TMO admin so that you can mute people? So the rule is you tell us your name,
Okay.
you tell us your city, you tell us the topic you want to discuss, and then you type the word unmute me, all put in one, at once. Also, I want to take a general consensus agreement here, both those of you on Facebook and those of you live here. Should we do a press conference tomorrow where we are able to midwife the engagement between the judicial panel of inquiry and the youth that needs to be represented on that panel? At the moment, it's been said that there has not been enough representative on that panel. And a couple of things that I feel needed to be done. Number one, we need a youth that will co-chair that panel. Number two, we need 50% of the panel composition to be youth. So if they already have 5 members, we need another 5 youths. And one of them co-chair with the justice that have been picked. Number three, the panel should be independent such that they can invite even the governor himself to come and talk. Number 5, the entire process should be streamed live on social media so that it can, everything can be seen in plain sight. Number 6, the investigation should start with the Lekki shooting, okay? Showing the CCTV camera, because this is what can calm the nerves of the people. We already have an email, which is nnymovement@gmail. So we also discussed it during the press conference, and they can reach out to us. Anybody who is interested in that can reach out to us. If you agree to this, can you type I agree? I agree. Come on, everybody. I want to see that on Facebook and here also on Zoom. Now, if you do not agree, just type I do not agree. Like I said, you are free to agree or disagree on this. If you do not agree, just type I do not agree. So I can say agree, 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 agree. Because I don't like how nobody's showing up. Because we are complaining government is trying to cover up, but we too are not even, nobody's even saying okay. Everybody's just silent. And like I said, I don't think anybody should be afraid of death in this current Nigeria. The system is so bad that you can be shoot, you can buy a fake tire and it bursts and you are dead. The road can kill you. Somebody can collect bribe and the wrong aircraft can fly when you're on your way to Port Harcourt or Calabar or Abuja and you still die, right? You can be moving around, stray bullet hit you, you still die. You can just move on the street, hoodlums attack you, you still die. Listen, the system is already dangerous. Okay, so the conversation around, in fact, I think if government even arrests you, you are even safer. It's technically, at least no stray bullet can hit you in DSS custody. And by the way, I've been to DSS custody before. Jonathan government said DSS after me. It's quite not that bad. They have clinic, they did a test for me. In fact, I had not done test all my life until I got to DSS custody. So I guess they do the test just to be sure that they can have evidence to say this was your health when you came in, so that you don't lie. So that you don't lie and say it was when I got to there
So
Please,
I would like I like Abdul
you are
Malik
now
Yahya Tanko is
yes.
from Maiduguri, Borno State, a
Yes,
resident of Port Harcourt.
I've been looking
That's
for Northern.
I like the distance. Yes, from Maiduguri and you're living in Port Harcourt. Please join the conversation. I've allowed you to unmute yourself. Malik Yahaya, please unmute yourself. Has Malik unmuted himself, please?
No, you need to unmute them. Just click on. You've unmuted.
Yes, I've done that. I've done that. He's supposed to unmute himself.
Good evening,
I've
all.
done that already.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am very much happy and delighted to be amongst you this evening for us together finding a solution to the youth of this our great country. Yesterday, I was absent because of one or two things. Please apologize for that. However, there is a saying that says that anything worth doing good, how do you supposed to say about it? It was doing well, cool?
Yes, Kia.
There is need for all of us to have a focus, to have a direction. There is a saying that says first things first before others. If we jump out everything together, want to achieve the result at the same time, then we're going to garbage in things will not be able to garbage out accurately. So there is need for you and me and all of us collectively to first and foremost achieve what we want to achieve at the issue. The 5 things mentioned earlier, 5 for 5, how do we go about it? After we might have gone far in respect to that, then we'll fall back to certain things that are disturbing us as youth in this country. I think if we will do this, it will help us a lot. And there is no any organization or any movement without leadership that it will work effectively. We must have a leader that is not partisan, that is not politically affiliated to any party, that his focus is on how to better Nigeria for the youth of this country. And the youth of this country, we need to sacrifice our time, our knowledge, our resources, if we want to get to where we want to go. These are just what I want to chip into us so that we collectively have a point to work with and take them one after the other. When you rush in without proper planning, then it means that we want to fail. But I pray that we will not fail. Secondly, brothers and sisters, as we are doing this, we know that it's devoid of religion, tribal, political affiliations, or whatever. There is need for each and every one of us to consider or to look deeply where each and every one of us are coming from, what our background, what is a kind of a stand that we are having in order for us to achieve this. For example, in the North, I read in the platform, somebody was talking about the northern region of this country, the youth of that. Of course, there are influential youth in the North. There are influential youth in the North that are ready to carry on with these agitations, but how do you get to them? How do you reach out to them? How can you convince them that we are sincere in this our cause? How can we go about it saying that no, this is not from West, this is not this is issue concerning Nigerians and Nigerian youth. And when we are talking about how to better this country for our generations to come after us, I think this is where I'll stop for now for others to contribute. Then we'll further add up, inshallah.
Thank you, Mr. Malik.
The way you speak like Tafadalewa. So please, Imam, I need you to share the link to all the northern groups. I was born in Meduguri.
Please.
And I really I brought in Mohammed Jiga the first day. I need you guys to share it in the north. For me, I've said again and again, any form of peaceful revolution that will change Nigeria will have to come from the north. It's just the truth. And I've said it several times, the north is more marginalized than the south. I was still in Meduguri in December, right? The Agubi ID camp that I went to do some donations is supposed to be for about 1,000 or 2,000 people. There are over 35,000 people there. Went to the clinics, there are no drugs. So I feel that one of the lies that have been told to those in the south is that the north is the enemy. And you don't know that the average northerner is even more of a victim of the political elites than even in the south. And that's just a fact. Please, Imam Malik, I need you to help me share this link. We need the northerners to be part of this. We need to get everybody on board. I'm not in support of a movement that does not have every single part of Nigeria in this, every single part, not some part, every single part. I lived in the north, like I said, for many years. I was born there. I was never attacked because of my religion. In fact, my father was a prophet in CNS and had his church, and it was close to a mosque where we were living, right? And it was never an issue. During Muslim fast, we eat together. During our own too, we send food. And so, again, there's been a whole lot of wrong narrative, okay, that I made a post, even though some people attacked me, but I stand by it, that any Igbo or Hausa that is being threatened by any Yoruba, they should let me know. We're going to call them out. We do not support any, because this is how the political elite has hurt us all this while. They play this card. They play the card. See how, talk by, you can confirm the hoodlums that attacked TVC, were they Hausas or Igbo? Your husband had to get some of them to come and bring you guys.
Every
Hausas or Igbo?
time they are Yoruba.
So why will anybody want to play card of, we need to
Yoruba
be, people. I was Igbo, so it was Hausa, so, crime is local. Is domestic. You can't even perpetrate any crime without some partnership with the local people. So
there's a local saying that thieves are human beings, they are not spirits. Thieves are human beings, they are not spirits. They're your neighbors, they are around you. Many of you, I'm reading your chats, they're complaining that we're not calling them. We're going to call Olayinka Faj, please go ahead with your contributions. Can Olayinka Faj hear me? I'm reading the comments and I'm picking one person after the other.
Izu is also back. Izu is back. He's been saying we should call him. He has some strategies I've discussed with him before we started the show. So he's going to be critical to helping us formulate the leadership structure that many of you have been asking. We're going to do that. We're also going to formulate the funding structure. We're also going to be formulating, we're going to be having 7 sub movements. One will focus on engaging youth to have PVC. One will focus on engaging youth to infiltrate all the political parties, including the new ones and the old ones, and insisting that 50% of elective positions should be given to youth. Enough of using us as talks, and then when you get there, you go ahead.
Steven, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Maybe I have to unmute myself first for the first speaker to speak.
There's just a lot of noise in the background.
Go ahead, Izu. After that, like Faj. Izu, go
What?
ahead. Izu, go
Okay.
ahead after like Faj.
All right, good evening once again. Apologies when I was called the first time. I was driving, so I knew the network was really terrible. I'll just make this really quick in a few minutes. I'm a strategist, right? I spent over 10 years basically building strategy structures. And of course, after every strategy comes the execution, which is projects. I happen to also have a PMP, which is the world's sort of like highest degree on project management, because I think until we start to see courses, campaigns as projects, right, it's you will never really get it right. I think the most powerfully executed project, political project in Nigeria would still be what you used to call the coup plot. And the reason why the coup plots were very successful in the 60s, 70s, 80s was because it was military, and it was because military teaches you how to be organized. I think one key thing that military shows you is how to be organized. So I'll just quickly run us through what I think this organization can be, right? So yes, the side effects of all of this whole madness, the protests and all that is, there are a lot of smaller groups who are thinking the same thing we're thinking right now. Matter of fact, in the last 1 week, I've been in 5-6 Zoom meetings of very influential young people who are also trying to create their small movements. So this is what happens all the time. It happens maybe once in every 25 years. There's a huge occurrence, and then there's a breakout of smaller groups. You know what happened when, and once again, I know this is not religious, but you know, whenever there's a move, right? So, for example, after the death of blah, 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 there was a Pentecost and people broke out and they had some groups who died a natural death for the lack of not being organized. So what's the first thing we want to do is, first step is document your thoughts, right? So the first question I'll be asking is, who is even taking minutes of this meeting and carrying all of this out? Because this is really a brainstorming session, articulating all of this brainstorming session into a blueprint. So we don't have to speak plenty grammar, it's simple. First step is document all of these thoughts into a convergence, a profile. You want a corporate profile first that somebody can look at in two pages, see every single thing you're trying to do, short term, mid term, long term, right? So that's the first thing. Then from that 2-page document, you can expand it to other things, bylaws, business plans, project plans, constitution. But don't forget that is like 1B or 1C. First thing is have a small document, then expand that document into having blueprints that can be you need a constitution first of all, because the first thing you want to do is once you create that document, you now break it out. Then after that whole documentation phase, second thing is you can't do anything with a large group of people once it's a startup. It's a basic 101. I mean, we all learned it from business, right? I'm on my third master's. I've at least built 128 startups. That's what I do for a living. We're behind a lot of brands, right? One thing I've learned from every successful startup we're able to build is they have very big dreams. 100 people in one Zoom meeting, that's fantastic. But if we pay attention well enough, we're going to know the people who are consistent in all of these meetings. They show some level of commitment. You take them out and create a smaller altar, right? It's basic 101 of life, right? So there's a big church and there's an altar. There's a mosque and I'm sure there's an equivalent of an altar type of thing, like an inner circle. I think that's the second step. So remember, first step is create your blueprint, expand that blueprint to a constitution, into a bylaw, into a project plan. That project plan is broken into short-term, mid-term, long-term. Short-term connects to the 5 for 5, connects to all of the things you want to do. Mid-term, they're going to tackle each causes. So police brutality, political involvement, grassroots engagement with the crowd, because don't forget, these whole hoodlums, what we realize about it is that if someone engaged them, it will be different. There's a young guy that became popular and went viral that was engaging them in the middle of that. I remember him telling one of them, here's a knife, take the knife, stab me, I dare you to stab me. You would not loot one more property as far as I exist. If you must loot this property, you must kill me first. And guess what? At the end, the same crowd killed him. But you need that
sort of committee.
Yeah.
After that step of creating smaller groups, after that small step of creating smaller groups, the third thing is hierarchy is important. Look, in the heart of this whole protest, I was involved in a major part of it. I've been running a non. One thing I kept hammering on is this thing we think is a plus is actually a minus. You can't say, oh, the strength of the protest is that we don't have a leader. Or God, you don't go far without a leader, right? So one thing I think is hierarchy is important. But you can't have that hierarchy if you haven't created your altar in a small group. So you see why there's a sequence to it. And this is not just coming from the top of my head. This is proper project management methodology for creating anything that works. And just coincidentally today, I was reading through the Nadeko movement. You know, the Abacha has been a part of every single coup plot that has happened in Nigeria, from the first ever coup plot that involved the Nzogus and up to the one that ousted Buhari. Mafaki, he literally ousted Buhari, reinstated IBB, ousted IBB, right? Ousted Shoneko. But what you find out in that is that he always was in a hierarchy, right? So what I'm to create that your structure, you create a hierarchy. That hierarchy should be broken down. You can use three methods. One is you can break the hierarchy into, right? I know my time is almost up. You can take that hierarchy and break it down. I would suggest that we don't have to invent the wheel. Nigeria is already broken down into regions, right? There are 6 geopolitical zones, right? Take that geopolitical zones and create. So let me give a good example. If this is called the XYZ movement, right? Make sure that the XYZ movement, you have a midterm plan to have XYZ Southeast, XYZ Northeast. I think this is the problem that a lot of the smaller political parties couldn't really pull off, because even the likes of Sowore and Falajuro Toye and all these guys who were brilliant guys who would have done better than Buhari. I think the worst of those guys would have been better than the best of Buhari. But the sad thing is that they didn't have the structure to connect to 774 local governments that we have. You see, the one thing again is these guys that have spoiled this country, no matter how badly written they've written our history, one thing you give it to them was they were very, although once again, 774 local governments, break it down into the geopolitical zones. That's one way to create the hierarchy, right? So each zone has a leader, and then they all report to the top, right? The second method is interest. So not everybody's interested in being politicians. Some people want to be behind the scene. So you create a committee for strategy and structure. Guys want to be behind the scene. Some people want to be the ones in media, who wants to be in front. You create another community. Some people want to be part of grassroots. Some people want to be part of the funding and the financing, because don't forget, all this plenty grammar was speaking.
I wish Izu's network is very, very good. You know, I don't know if you're enjoying Izu's ideas. If you're enjoying it, type I enjoyed it. Come on, guys.
You can't pour from an empty cup. In other words, I mean, once again, we're back to why we check the biggest chaos in Nigeria of all time will still be the Biafran War. Why was the Biafran War? You know what? To keep a war going for 2 years. The only reason why that war was literally 2 years deep was because the guy who was in the middle of that whole war, Ojukwu, as of the time when he went to war, his father was the richest African. I don't know if anybody knows that history, right? So he had all the money to fight. Okay, if you don't have money, you can't make progress. So there has to be a committee that makes sure that we always have money, right? Whatever way you want to source that fund, but it has to be, and there has to be technocrats. I don't think that Nigeria of today can be changed by people from the grassroots. I'm very sorry. I've come to the conclusion that if you check our history, the guys who are able to stand and fight, whether it's even a Tinubu from the Nadeko days, or even an Ojukwu from the pre-Civil War days, or even the likes of Fela Kuti, what you find out in all of that consistency is rich kids who have a lot of money, right? And they are hard to sell out because they've tested what fortune is. You cannot bribe them with fortune, right? So that's why I think that inner circle has to be people who are not trying to do this as a hustle. One thing that got me here is because Mr. Stephen, I know Mr. Stephen well enough. I know he has a major business. So I know that this one is not trying to be a revenue stream. He's fine, right? And I think that we should be wary of that because that's just usually what ruins this whole thing. I'm sure when this whole haze clears, what we're going to find out is somebody must have sold out even in that, your Lekki toll gate, right? So I think that's the fundamental thing. Let me just run it quickly before I go again. First, document your thoughts, break down your thoughts into short-term, mid-term, long-term, Start with a corporate profile, expand it to a project plan, expand it into a bylaw. Second step is create a smaller circle, break them down into committees. Third step is create an organizational chart. There has to be leadership and there has to be hierarchy. After that, we can come back and say, okay, now we have an organization. What do we want to do next? If you don't have an organization, we're probably just speaking all the grammar. Mr. Stephen, thanks once again. I think I'd rather just stop at this point.
Thank you, Izu.
That was awesome. I think you guys can clap if you want to. I feel like clap.
A quick master class.
Yeah, exactly. Quick master class, Abi. Okay. Because of time, and I think we flogged yesterday. I mean, for over an hour, 2 hours and 30 minutes. It was just everybody giving us ideas. So today's meeting is being taken by Mohammed. So he's taking that meeting already. So there are a couple of committees. Izu, correct me if I'm wrong. Finance, media, grassroots, intelligence, strategy, inner circle. Is there anything I'm leaving out?
I think there has to be a coalition with the government. So there has to be one that engages government as well, a committee that engages government. So that's the one that can be on this whole judiciary board that we're saying we need young people involved.
Is there any lawyer here?
Please, if you're a lawyer, put it in the chat room, and that way we can note your name. Mohammed will please note the names of anybody that comments, I'm a lawyer. Please, if you're a lawyer, just comment, I'm a lawyer there. Olayenka Fad was going to say something, but I think it's important to put this structural part before we move into further contributions. So, we have one lawyer already.
Jose, what do we say? Okay, beautiful. So, so we have, what I will do is that we can do media and B2G. So the media committee also handles, B2G.
Business to government.
Yeah, or M2G, movement to government. In our case, since we're moving M2G, so we have M2G. M2G, that's good. So,
Mohammed, please, we have a lawyer already that indicated the.
Okay, Fumi Olatoye is also a lawyer. No, let's have as many. If you're a lawyer, just know those.
Please, as many lawyers. I already have 2 here. Olayinka Faji, we had put you to hold on for Izu. So, somebody is asking for diaspora committee. I think that diaspora any diaspora member should fall within the committees already existing. We don't need to have a committee for diaspora specifically.
Yes, and I also think diaspora can also be more into the finance committee also. Finance strategy should be an inner circle, should be, core of what diaspora should fall into. But I agree with you that diaspora should still fall into all, because in some cases you still need media engagement internationally.
In the diaspora, yes.
You still need engagement with international governments. You still need, so we will just have that. I also, number 7 should be membership committee. So they are the ones who then want to make sure we're present in all the 7 local governments in all the cities in the world where Nigerians are, be it Cameroon, be it Rwanda, be it US, UK, so that again is a global movement, but for the realization of a new Nigeria, where young people who are credible can lead this country to a glorious dream. One of the dreams that I have for this movement is that by the year 2050, Nigeria will be at the level, if not better, of Dubai, United Arab Emirates. That's one of the things I'm hoping that it will be the long-term strategy for this. But I agree with Imam that we start with this midwifing interaction between the youths and the government, and helping it to be well, to be well constituted, such that young people are critical parts of that. Another midterm goal is that we start immediately engaging people in the grassroots. You call them touts, but I call them the most marginalized Nigerians. And let me tell everybody watching me, if we do not take this serious, you will soon be the target. I'm not kidding you. What I saw out there was, the lowest of the society versus the middle class, because they no longer could see the higher class anymore. The higher class have private jets. The higher class can be invisible, right? The higher class they have their ways. So, the lowest part of the society no longer see. I mean, TMO was telling me how even in a car, I mean, and it wasn't like a Ferrari or anything. You could see them looking at her, and in fact, they took her phone, even though they came to save her life, but they still took her phone. And so it's almost like that movement of, and that's why we have to reach out. We have to reach out. Like one of the things people said yesterday was that each of us should go in our community, start engaging every month, organize meetings with your people in your community, gate man, security man, son of the nobody. You have to start engaging. How can we together? I'm not a rich person, but in what way can we network, put our energy together and help each other, to make sure that we can all have some level of success. So good. This is how we're going to go. We have an email, nnYmovement@gmail.com. 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 If you are interested in being part of any of this committee, kindly send us your full profile and the committee you are interested in joining. Okay? nnYmovement@gmail.com. We have finance committee, we have media and M2G, that is movement to government, grassroots mobilization, intelligence. So people like Mr. Friday can be in our intelligence. Strategy committee, inner circle, as well as membership. Membership these are the people, helping us to gain grounding across all the, from local government, I even want street to street. So I call it membership and database. Okay, street to street.
Mr. Stephen, can I just quickly say that as a rule, right? So it's everybody must be part as a rule. That's why I said remember I said the first step is create like corporate profile, project plan, then bylaws, which is ground rules. As a ground rule in a political movement, you can't be a floor member. It is not church. You cannot be a visiting member, right? So I think everybody we can't force you to be in any group, but you must be in a group. Right? For me personally, I'm sorry if you're right.
I choose a group for you.
Like to read, right? You can't choose a group for you, but you cannot just be there to come. Else we consider it as a monitoring spirit, right? For what we're doing, right? So, because why I think it's important is you need a sieve to sieve out people who just came to watch, right?
Exactly.
We don't. It's too deep of a movement. You see, the problem in Nigeria is one thing I've learned even from the protests is until existence of people is threatened, they don't move. Right. And the reason why it looks like this SARS NSAS moved deeper than any other protest in maybe the last 20 years is because the existence of Nigeria was almost getting threatened. Right. That's why they had to bring in the military. So I think as a group, right, we have to threaten people's existence in terms of you cannot just exist here if you are not contributing something. In
That's
all of this
productive.
Yeah. So as a rule, the group shouldn't be more than 7. These are the rule of thumbs, right? The same way when they create an iPhone, they say no matter what you do on an iPhone, you mustn't click more than 2-3 times. There's nothing on your iPhone, no matter how complex that thing is, that you need more than 3 clicks to get done, right? So as a rule, we cannot have more than 7 groups, right? And each of those groups, the steps to achieving whatever you need to achieve cannot be more than 3. So we can reduce the amount of meetings, the amount of long stories. Matter of fact, I think ground rule just saves everything. So I don't know if that's okay to say that everybody must look at the 7 groups. If we agree, the number should be more than 7 because less is more. Now, in those 7, there's no way you tell me you're not interested in one, right? There's no way if matter of fact you're not interested in one, please just be a financier. There's already a committee called fund, right?
Yeah.
So I think I don't know if that sort of helps. Just let me throw that in.
I think that's very, very key. And how many of you agree with that? If you agree, type I agree, I agree, I agree. Come on, guys, talk to me. Okay, if you
So I'm going to
type...
let's give just one minute to take a few comments, because I know that a lot of people have contributions to make, and like it will just be 2 minutes. It will be very, very short. I'm going to be muting anybody that does not keep to the time. I think I will just quickly bring you in, but it was important for us to go through all of this structure because it's easy to talk. Everybody knows talk is cheap, but without putting in structure, we'll just be playing lip service to the things we want to achieve. So I've asked Olayinka Faj to unmute himself. Please do, and
Thank you.
keep it short and sharp.
Well, thank you. I see that most of my thought had actually been killed by Azo, and already, you know, that was it. If you were looking at me while he was even presenting, because I ensured I actually turned on my video, I was just saying, yeah, that's it. Okay, anyway, to run over it a little bit, what killed or what's killing the current protest in Nigeria right now is because we were not straight about the agenda, or we were not focused enough. So like Yaya said, we should be focused, have an agenda, say this is 505 and that's what we're doing right now. After we achieve that, and then we can move
on your video, please. Your video. We need everybody.
My video. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll put it on right now. Okay, so I think you see me right now, right? Okay, so that was a very special one. Then also, let us begin for all that have been said by Azo and Yaya. The only thing I think we're still leaving out is how we can sell ideas to all the subgroup Azo mentioned, because we have a lot of groups that had actually that actually came up like for people to join, which I think have been part of like 2 or 3 or like that, and they have different agenda they are looking towards. Let us sell our idea to most of these people so that they can actually join, participate, and then see how we can move this, consolidate our idea together and move it forward to the government. Because what our leaders have been able to do is to successfully divide us. They have divided us. They have divided us in a very long time, and then we're still speaking different languages. If you're going this way, if someone is going this way, another person is going another way, because they have put into us different minds, different mindset, different ideas, and all of that. So we need to have the same mindset, the same focus, the same goal, so that when we're saying A, we are all saying A. I think that's the only thing I'm about to. I just want to add to the so said.
Thank you so much. I like the idea of consolidation. I really, really think we should do it. So I'm going to be bringing in Olaoye. Olaoye, I've asked you to unmute yourself. 2 minutes to. Is Olaoye still there? Olaoye, you can unmute yourself. Your video, please. Olaoye, are you there? Okay, I can't hear Olaoye. Kemi, Kemi Oshimbosi. So I'm allowing you to unmute yourself. Kemi, can we have Kemi? Okay, Kemi has lowered her hands. Angela Dominic, are you ready?
Hello?
Angela Dominic?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
hello.
Kemi. Okay, Kemi. All right, so let's do Kemi first before doing Angela.
Yeah,
Kemi is on.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this platform. I've been trying to speak since yesterday. I'm actually speaking from the UK. And can you hear me, please?
Okay.
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, we can. Yes, we
Right.
can. But we
So
can't
what I
see you.
was, I
Can you
was
switch
just
on your
gonna,
video?
I was just going to mention the fact that someone should try to monitor the comments on Facebook. People are complaining on Facebook that their comments have not been attended to, and it's a lot of comments. Some people have not been able to get on Zoom, so it would be nice to have someone who monitors the comments and try to see what people are writing on Facebook as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Mohammed, can you help us out with that? Mohammed?
Okay, thank you so much. I checked it earlier and I'll check again. Mama too could check. So can we now have somebody who already called up someone, Angela Dominic. Angela, please, can you? I've asked you to unmute, so.
Okay, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, I want to appreciate everyone and the convener of this particular idea. So, okay, Izu actually said a lot about what I would, in fact, he actually did better, communicating what was on my mind, and then Malik said something which I also want to stress on, the need of, carrying our brethren, especially the ones at the grassroots. You see, during this protest, I learned a lot. I realized that, this divide and rule strategy had always worked for our leaders. I listened to a particular documentary, where, our fathers, some of us are saying our fathers didn't do much and all of that. And I realized that they did. They did. The only difference between these NSAS protests we are doing and some of the things our fathers did then was the fact that we have social media, we have technologies to help us better than they did. But I realized that to some, you talk about the NADECO and some other movements like that, they did some of those things. And then one of the vital tools they've always used to, bring down any of this movement or kill any of these visions is this divide and rule. It has always worked. And you can see in this NSAS movement, it was almost working for them, which was why, some people are standing from here and saying it's the Igbos, it's the Hausas. I want us to know one thing. There's this need to, begin to educate every Nigeria of the need to be a Nigeria than a tribal person, especially our brethren from the north. I want to mention that specifically because I realized that they have weaponized. Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
So I realized that they have weaponized, how do I put it, illiteracy in that side. And illiteracy, I mean, is not just educational, whatever. There's need for us to begin to educate these people the need of being in Nigeria first than being a Northerner. Because any little thing, you see our leaders from that side trying to tell them the reason why this thing is happening is because they want to pull us out. They want to take what belongs to us and all of that. I don't know how we can organize this, but there is need, to have that within us who will be the ones educating. I know it's available everywhere in all the tribes, but I'm just saying that there's more need to work hard. Because I believe if our northern brethren, the youths in the north, could wake up. You see, let me tell you, some of this whole strategies and everything we are planning will be easier. Oh, you want to see my face?
Because I don't want anybody to see my face.
Okay. So I mean, if our brethren in the north are well enlightened about what this whole movement is all about, I believe that our job will be made easier. Honestly. And then, I mean, not just only not everywhere, the need to begin to educate people, be more Nigerian than a tribal man. And then one more thing I want to talk about is, I know a lot of people have touched on this. There's this need to have a leader. We cannot say we are moving forward. This NSAS movement, yes, it was an organic movement, kind of. It wasn't as if we sat down one day, decided, and, the way it went, like a wildfire everywhere. So, but one of the things that also killed it is when there is nobody to say it is enough. When there's nobody to say, let's do it this way. When there's nobody to say, this is where we are going. We thought it's a strength.
Thank you, Angela.
But really, it's a flaw.
Thank you so much, Angela. So I'll
All
bring
right.
in Ahmed Akonde. Ahmed Akonde mentioned that thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate. I'm waiting for you to join your group so that we can engage further on that level and get to the work, because really
Okay. Thank you,
talking is the
Temo.
easiest
Thank you.
part.
Thank you, Temo. I
Is the
understand. Yeah.
real work. And so the Temo till 2020. Ahmed Akonde said on too, and Ahmed is the person that invited Imam
Okay,
to the
thanks for
group.
having me.
So I would like to hear your perspective. Thank
Thanks for
you.
having me, TKO. Thanks for having me, Dr. Akintayo, and everybody from all over the world. We are passionate about this because it's like interest shaking hand across the state. What I would like to say is that people we have here should please take their time. You see, I keep emphasizing this. Let's take our time to see the video from when this started Friday evening, right? From when this started Friday evening. It will give us a background as to where we are going, because so that we'll not we'll not have to reinvent the wheel. You know, since we don't have this strategy document, the vision, mission statement ready for now, this video will give us a background. And of course, for those of us that will go into drafting this, the past events that we've had, Friday evening, yesterday evening, and even today, for the records, for those that will see this video in future, please take your time. It's about 2 hours long each. Take your time to listen to the audio, even if you can't see the videos physically. Then we should all, with this, for this period, let's put this on our WhatsApp status. That was how Imam Yahya Malik saw this. He saw it on my status, and he chat me up. Oh, what are you guys up to? What's this again? And I told him something big is coming up, something I believe family would change this country is coming up. Please, we need your time. So let's put it on our WhatsApp status. Let's put it on our Facebook status. Let's put it on all our social media handles, and let the message go around. That's what I have for us tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I would like to invite Akinwande Eniola. Okay, so Akinwande Eniola, I would like to unmute you. Okay, let me look for you. Akinwande Eniola. All right, so I've asked you to unmute.
Hello, good evening, house.
Please, let's keep it short.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. I sincerely appreciate all the callers who have called earlier, but I have a different thoughts about what most of our speakers have said earlier. You know, what we are trying to do here, we are not trying to collate just a state. If I'm right, we are trying to collate almost all the youth in Nigeria to be on one page. And I believe to do this, it's not just going to be a Facebook thing on a Zoom thing. For example, if two states, the youth of Lagos State alone come on Zoom, it cannot occupy all of us. Then my own suggestion that I believe is more interactive and it's more practical. What I think is, let's create a website. You understand? Before we talk about this strategy and everything we're doing, I think we need to go to the foundation first, because this project that is coming up is not just a small project. It's a big project. It's not something we can do on just Facebook or on Zoom. So I think that we should create a very strong website, because if Nigeria at the moment today, 10 years ago, if you want to send money in Nigeria, you have to go to the bank and go to teller. But today, just type the account number of the person, charge to the bank, the name of that person will come out the same way. I believe we, the youth, with our intellectuals, we can do this. I live in Germany. I've lived in Germany all my life, and I have seen different nations coming up and doing different things the way which I believe we can actually do the same thing as well. Now, what am I trying to say is that we can create a very strong website that we open, because look at what happened at this NSAT. A lot of people hijacked it, the hoodlums. Most of people are not even informed about what we are doing, or what they just think is on a way to make money or to criminalize what we are doing. So what I want to say
was already
is,
mentioned on Friday. They mentioned that on Friday. The website would have a website on Friday. I think that, but the first thing to do is to have our vision, mission, and all of that articulated. Then there is definitely going to be a website. The ideology, like somebody already said, it's very well explained. That's why the last person that contributed said everybody joining should endeavor to watch Friday and Saturday, because it helps you understand where we're coming from. But definitely the website is in the works. And
okay,
Izu already mentioned that the target is for this 64 local governments, and it will have aggregation. So if you can help aggregate same way everybody in every local government will be able to deliver 100 people. So it might not be that we're going to be bringing 1 million people on Zoom or 1 million people into Facebook, but we are going to be able to influence the downline. We're influencing people that are following us, So, and most importantly, we also heard that there are many small groups like this trying to push for a greater Nigeria and would like to synergize and coordinate this group together. It would help us.
And that's exactly where the website, or like, I didn't know it was talked about. We can from the website, every youth can get an ID card. That will be a national youth ID card among us. That's number. The last one that I want to say before I sign out is one of our guy there was saying about the guy in America. I can't remember his name now. He was talking about our PVC. You understand? Now the issue there about that PVC is when we get our PVC ready, which is actually our weapon that we use to select all these mafia leaders that are occupying Nigeria. Who are we voting for? So for me, I think the way we are discussing this, everything we are discussing is great. But I think when we talk about the leadership, when we talk about voting, 2023 is just about by the corner. If we don't plan and actually try to be organized enough to know, okay, who are we voting for? You mentioned about Shomore the other time. Shomore, me as a person, I too, there are some things I don't accept about Shomore because it's too vulgar and it's too.
Well, first of all, hello, Mr. Because I really do not think we're at that level where we begin to talk this. Number one, we are not a political party, and we have to be very clear. Sure. We are not. The problem of our youth was they started creating political party without strong movements. What led to AC, who then became ACN, then became APC, was the NADECO now. Mm-hmm. Are you getting what I'm saying? So you started Fela Dote last election, Chore last election. At the end of the day, there was no grassroots, there was no movement, there was nothing. They couldn't win. So you can't be talking, and this is where we are losing it. We are young people, have energy, but no strategy. So first thing, even if Chore had become president or Fela Dote, what will have happened is that all the House of Assembly members will have come from other parties. And there was nothing you could do.
That's the truth.
Right? When you are your party is the president and then House of Rep, Senate, they will frustrate you and you are new to power. They will remove you. Do you know what if not that Buhari was even a former military leader? You know how easy it would have been to have even find a way to have impeached him because it was a new party that took over. So you need to understand the dynamics. I mean, we are young people who have energy, but we also need to think strategically. So we are not a political party. What we are saying is this. We need young people to infiltrate all the parties and demand 50% youth representation.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? We also need to support all the young new parties. We have a YPP or Y whatever. All of them, we support them. We are not here to, any of you can start a movement for politics or for party, maybe later. But for now, let's start a movement. Let's start demanding. We can't wait 2023 now. Some people were shot in
Let's educate people.
Abi, who ordered
education?
How do we plan to educate the hoodlums who hijacked
people to get PVC? A movement has to do that now. We need right now to begin to have conversation on electronic voting. Who will do that? We need to right now tell INEC to start registering people from 2020.
Yeah,
Who will push for that?
there's a petition that I've been sharing. Everybody has been sharing it to get people to petition INEC to group. Everybody should sign petition so that registration for INEC can start from now instead of rushing just few months towards the election. I like what you said, and I think that I think that it's important for us to
Then one
continue
more
to talk
thing,
about
I think
these things.
a better way to educate the people, those hoodlums that hijack the peaceful protest. Most of the people that hijack this peaceful are this area boys. Most of them, they are conductors and everything. And I have this idea: if this group we work on it, most of our admirals, the conductor, the driver, they listen to Pasuma, they listen to Said, they listen to every of them. I believe if there's a way we can go through these people and make them release a song that will educate them about what we want to do about this in song or in whichever means. And the same way, because let me tell you something, the artists, our musicians, they have so much play on this thing because they control the hearts of almost everybody in the country, because everybody have his own fan. They have influence. Exactly. So I think like this Pasuma, Said Oshupa, because I tell you, most of the people that came to hijack this peaceful protest, they are not the educated ones. They are not people like us. They are other people that have been misled. They don't have this common education that we have. So if there's a way we can educate them on their own level, through their style or the
Great observation.
Okay,
Thank you.
Great, that's a good observation. We're losing time. Can we just take two more and wrap up?
Well, just okay. So let me quickly take Prince Obed Chinyere. Prince Obed Chinyere is going to come up.
Good evening, everybody. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
hear you.
Good evening, House. Yeah, my name is Prince Obed, calling from Ikeja, Lagos, to be precise. Please, as a matter of fact, I've been hearing about what I've been discussing this evening, but I think I want to make a quick opinion. One, I think it's better for us to modelize our agendas, put them in models. First model, second model. If we're talking about security today, we'll discuss about security. If we're talking about infrastructure, government, whatever, let's just put them in models. I think that will help us exactly for us to know where we're heading to. Then number two, somebody talked about intelligence. That I came in a bit late that time. When the man talked about intelligence, I was like trying to know exactly which area, because police is a very big, large family. Now, for us to hold on to them, because definitely we need them to succeed. A government can succeed and survive without army, but police we cannot do without, because they are the ones, having that internal structure of the security system. So now I'm thinking, coming from that angle, how we're going to do a proper relationship, bringing the people together, bridging the gap, coming in, bringing the people, the public, the clergy, the businessmen, the elites together, and also together with these people that we call the arberos, of course, like the ghetto guys. We need to bring them all in, indeed. And some of them may not even have the chance, like if you get to the ghetto, that what happens there most times, so only very few have these iPhones. Most phones you see there is all these, small Nokia touch phones, because when they get the big ones, they'll just sell them out and use the money, for their addition. But we need them in the system. Now we have to have at least create a group of people that can easily meet up with them, talk to them, get their audience, get their attention to know exactly what they are up to. So when they put up a contribution to what we're doing, I think it's going to be a very big achievement. That's mine. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So we're almost out of time. I think we have barely 2 minutes left. I'll just quickly want to just take I'll just want to take one more person to contribute to what we're discussing right now. I want to go through the chat. If you've asked us to take you, please don't forget to use the link. There's a link that has been shared right now. Please use the link. Let's gravitate and get what we information we need. Okay, so I've asked Sheun Majason to unmute. Sheun Majason, please keep it within 1 minute. Sheun Majason, keep it within 1 minute in your contribution. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yes,
okay,
I'm here.
Good. Thank you. We can. Oh, the audio is not good. You're not very. I can't. Oh, sorry, we can't hear you. Have you unmuted yourself? Oh, we can't hear you. Sorry. Let's bring in someone else, please. Ochuko, well, Ochuko, please unmute yourself. I don't want to destroy anybody's name.
Before we have Ochuko, I apologize. The email I gave earlier was wrong. The correct email is nnYmovementng@gmail.com. nnYmovementng@gmail.com. Also, the group that we have discussed, we have finance. We can add more to it
Please,
later.
I'm using that thing for my head. That's what I'm using.
We have finance, one.
Sorry.
Number two, we have media and M to G, that's movement to government. Number three, we have grassroots. And Mohammed, you need to help me post the entire group here as well as the email. Number four, we have intelligence. Number five, we have strategy committee and inner circle. Number six, we have IT and social media. Number seven, we have membership and database. Okay, so finance, media and M2G, grassroots, intelligence, strategy committee and inner circle, IG and social media, membership and database. Remember to send your profile, the city you are, your email, your phone number to the email nnYmovementng@gmail.com. nnYmovementng@gmail.com. So we are the new Nigerian youth movement, and our goal, our movement is not a political party, but rather to be able to encourage youth participation, build that new Nigeria with young people with integrity, character, and, midwife in the short term, the process of getting government to the Nigerian youth to be part of the judicial panel of inquiry into the Lekki shooting. So we're looking at doing a press conference tomorrow on that. I'm still going to ask us a few questions around that. How many of us are in Lagos and would like to join us for that press conference tomorrow? So yeah, let the person go ahead, TM.
Okay, please, Mohammed, kindly help us to post all this information also on Facebook. We have lots of people on Facebook who probably can't see what you are typing on Zoom. So let's post these details on Facebook too. The email, the groups should be on Facebook as well. If you're going to be contributing, kindly unmute your video. There are two people I want. Ochuko is already on ground. Ochuko, are you there? And I was trying to get in Majason. I'm trying to remember the name, but I think I saw your chat just now. But let's take Ochuko first, then we would come back to Shehu Majason. All right,
Mohammed,
Ochuko,
also post the Telegram group for those who are not yet in the Telegram group. Can you also help me take Tolu Rojaye? She's been here for a couple of days, and besides, she wanted to say something. So go ahead, guys. Go ahead, quickly, please. Quickly. Is it Ochuko? Go ahead, Ochuko.
Ochuko, we're waiting for you. Ochuko, mute. We're waiting for you.
Yeah, yes. Thank you so much. In a bit late into this discussion, I actually wanted to know what it's all about, and
Oh, sorry, Ochuko. If that's the line of the conversation, I would advise that you watch the video from
so
Friday.
thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Ochuko. Ochuko, if you want to understand what the movement is about, watch the video on Friday and the one that was done yesterday. It would give you all the details. And then you could just follow the link that will be in the chat and join the Telegram group. You would also get more details about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so
Majason, please, Ochuko.
much.
All right. Can I have Sheung Majason before we now have to do Lokme?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I've been following the program since, and it's really very innovative. And let me say thank you to Mr. Steven, and thank you to everyone listening. I just want to be very brief. There is this issue that we need to look into. I'm very much interested in politics, and we want the youth to be in power. But there's something we need to know. We don't have the time. We don't have the time to see how to get everybody on board. We have that challenge. We are not united. The youth is not united on that part. We are only trying right now to unite everybody. So what I'm suggesting is this. In your particular environment, in your own area, that is in each and every one of us environment, let us strategize a way of winning our environment. That is, let people know about you. Let people see your worth. Do something in your own environment, in your own community. Because if you are not good at home, you cannot be good, even if they give you a national appointment.
Very true.
So, for example, if I am from Akure, right now I'm from Akure, if there's a way I can get the heart of my constituency, if there's a way I can get the heart of my community here, when they like me, I saw a video today when they were trying to burn different police stations. There was a particular police station they got when those hoodlums want to burn down that police station. The people, the same youth stood against them burning that police station because of the DPO was known by them to be a very nice person. So because of this reason, they were not able to burn down that police station because of they have recognized that DPO to be a good person. So we want in our own, we need to do something about this government. The government is messed up already. And our government, they have this power to dominate us for now. No matter how we protest, we make noise, they have the ability to shut us down. So for this reason, we need to get ourselves inside them. In my locality, let me get myself inside. I know the strategy. I should be able to form a strategy in my locality, a strategy in my community, how I can get inside them. If I do the same thing here, you do the same thing there, another person do the same. At the end of the day, you will realize that many of our youth are already coming into the system gradually. Today we're 100, tomorrow we're 200, tomorrow we're 500. And with time, we'll be able to take over the helms of affairs. That's just my little contribution. I really appreciate what we are doing, and God will give us a good Nigeria.
Amen. Awesome. Amen.
Amen.
Everybody can live peacefully.
Bad, but thank you. You know, what that I echoed before, and totally, many people misconstrue influence to money. You don't need money to have influence. You just need to be compassionate and willing to engage people. Many people that probably have a car or, you know, that small spot, we wind up put on our and look down around.
We can hear you.
By conversation, talking to mostly you can't. I think it's your network. Okay, so Ola, so I think it's your network though. I really think it's your network.
Yeah, it's just breaking.
I'm looking for Tolu. I can't find Tolu.
I'm Tolu Rojai, can you unmute yourself, Tolu? Tolu Rojai, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. I want to first of all appreciate all of us for all the contributions and what we've all been saying. We've said so well, and I've just been observing as well from all the discussions we've been having, because lately I've just decided not to let any of these things, get to me, because I've been out there on the street seeing all of the things that have been happening, and I really want to thank and appreciate everyone for this, opportunity, and I don't want any of us to take it lightly. And right now, the only comment I would only say is to note that we have to really work on our grassroots involvement. We need to work on how to let these other people know that it's all for everyone. This is just so defining. We could tell that there's a large divide between the social elite and what is happening today. So I feel that it's crucial that we do whatever we're doing with the media, with all the strategy, with everything that we've mentioned. I really bought into it, and I appreciate all that we've said. But have we said all of this, sensitizing people, giving orientation to people, making people understand? And then I think I saw something about someone telling FAUST to also come up with letting people understand human rights laws and all the laws that protect the land, or whatever had to do with citizen engagement and all of that. So I think the very first thing to start with is, after we draw up a plan and all of that, we really need to engage our people, the grassroots, let them know what this is all about. And it starts from each and every one of us. It starts from our environment. It starts from where we're living. It starts from letting that little lost child know that you can shield them from any harm. And when I mean shield them from any harm, let them understand what is happening, that it is for their advantage. We really need to start telling everyone that this is to your advantage. It's not about the little money you get here and there. It's about the larger, it's about the future, because when we don't do anything about it, it affects our children, much later. I hope we all understand what I'm trying to pass across this evening. Good evening, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So there's too many people raising their hands. If you are just joining, please don't raise your hands, because it will seem some of the things you are going to be saying has already been covered. If you were not here yesterday, day before yesterday, go and watch those ones before you come and say you want to raise your hands, because I don't want us to repeat. Many people are, this is a labor of love. And I appreciate everyone's sacrifice, the time you have spent, the data you're spending, trying to make it birth a new Nigeria. It will be we will see this same country improve and become better. So I appreciate every one of you. I want to say thank you for your time so far. And if you raised your hands or you indicated to talk, please comment again so that I would take you up. But if only what you want to say hasn't been covered.
We might not be able to take. We might not be able to take anybody again today, but tomorrow, hopefully, we will continue the conversation tomorrow. Because
please keep sharing the link. Share the link so we bring in more people.
Yes. So tomorrow we have increased our Zoom capacity to 300 now. So tomorrow you can share the link. Come early. You can have as many. Then Mohammed, post the link to all the sessions we've had in time past. There's a lot of people, so that they can see the conversation where we are coming from. Also, how many of you are in Lagos? I will be willing to attend a press conference tomorrow. If you are, just type me. If you're in Lagos and you'll be willing to attend a press conference tomorrow, just type me, just to Like I said, I haven't seen any youth group address the media. Everybody's just quiet, and so at least some of us have to just say something. Um, we have not determined the venue of the press conference yet. We first need to know if we have enough number of people willing to come, and then we can work on that. But so if you'll be willing to attend the press conference, can you just type me? If you're in Lagos and you'll be willing to attend the press conference, maybe somewhere on the island, definitely. If you are in Lagos and you'll be willing to attend the press conference somewhere on the island, we can even do it in Lekki Toll Gate itself. Since that's the first conversation that we're having, where we just address the constitution composition of the judicial panel of inquiry. We definitely need 50% of the members to be youths. We also need that, and across the country. So it's not just for Lagos. So across the country, let them make the composition 50% youth. Let them have a youth as a head or co-chair of the panel. We'll definitely stream the conference if we're doing it. Yes, if you are interested in coming for the press conference tomorrow, please send a mail to nnYmovementNG@gmail. If you're interested in coming tomorrow, just type my name and put your phone number and type that you're interested. And so we also, part of what we'll be discussing is we also need the panel to stream the inquiry live. We also need them to be independent of the governor. We also need the involvement of the State House of Assembly so that whatever resolution can have legal backing, as it should also focus on our prevention of such kind of excessive abuse of human rights. Those of you in Lagos, you can let's just start someone in Lagos, then later you guys can host in other states, but the one in Lagos we address for all other cities, for all other cities. So again, if you are going to be available for it, just send a mail. Let's just do a press conference. Hopefully, like I said, we can midwife. I'm not happy that the youths have just disappeared. Everybody is just run somewhere or is not talking, at least as regards who leads, who engage the government, how do we engage the government, what are even the terms? I know what I'm saying now is the belief of most people, but nobody wants to even say that, look, we have to be the co-chair of the panel. We need 50% to be youth. We need the event stream live. And we probably need to even start with the Lekki shooting first. As people are angry, what I'm hearing out is more people want to go and protest. And I'm saying, let's start engagement. At least let's start engagement. Since the government is claiming they are waiting for us, let's start engagement. Okay, let's start talking. Abi? If they are now not sincere in their engagement, at least we can all see. But we need to start engagement. It's very important, but definitely we will stream the event live, and the press conference will be streamed live. I'm told that the youth rep in Delta State resigned and returned the 100K sitting allowance. Yes, I'm not surprised because in many of these states, they just appoint one person, first of all, and then put all these old people who cannot even realize what's going on. So I get why that will happen. And the reason is also because you have a lot of people complaining that they are wondering the whole idea. So what I believe will happen, if first of all we do a press conference, put the demands out there, we can even create an online poll. I'm aware some people are already even doing that. We can have an online voting, right, where young people of Nigeria can vote if it's 5 people across all cities. We can set up a website and people can vote across or nominate as well as vote. Okay, across all cities. We do our own election and they're going to see, just like BB Nigeria, how how it should be. It's going to be. It's a press conference, not a protest. Somebody say there should be strong security. It's a press conference, so it's not a protest. So if it's a protest, then maybe you want security. It's a press conference. Just talk to media people, and that's all. So I don't think there's a need for security for a press conference. We could do it anywhere, but I can assure you that if you do any press conference anywhere and you are not showing empathy towards Lekki shooting, it's going to lack legitimacy. TMO, I believe you agree with me. So because that's still part of why the youths are angry.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, the youths are still angry because it's almost as if the Lekki shooting, there's an attempt to sweep it under the carpet. There's an attempt to, and so there's distrust, both parties. So some of us, Yoruba will say, Tabasuko Amarino. Somebody then still has to come and say, hey guys, okay, this is what I feel is the position of the youth. This is also how we can go ahead and, there's already security in Lekki toll gates. Mr. Abiodun, okay, you go to Lekki toll gate, you see heavy security there already. Okay, so there's nothing, there's already heavy security in Lekki toll gate. And like I said, once it's press conference, one of the major thing I'm not happy about that happened to Lekki toll gate was how come there are no major newspaper, TV station there as at the time that thing was happening.
The young people drove them away. The protesters drove them away. I can speak for TVC. Protesters drove TVC away. They felt that TVC is partisan. But what you don't get is you need media, whether they are partisan or not, they will still cover.
I don't think that I don't think channels was driven away. Because I saw Lou Phillips at the beginning giving some report.
It was late. It was after the shooting.
So
they
he
now
was
went
after
there.
the shooting, he got back there. And for me, that's part of, floppiness from the part of the media, right? Because if media had been there, even as at the time they switch off the light, quickly call your station and start talking that, oh, they switch off the light, or there's complaint that something is about to happen. And things like that. So, but I feel we should try and see if we can hold a press conference. Again, if you're afraid, don't bother, right? I mean, some of us have gotten to a point where you see all this issue of to die, they will arrest me, some of us have passed that level already. Okay, so if they want to arrest, let them arrest. They want to shoot. Some of us have to die now. So all this, we're afraid. I don't understand. If we keep, everybody's afraid, everybody. How do we make progress? How do we change the country? Right?
So, true, very true. Before we run off, I'd like to also remind everybody that it is important that the details of this group and this movement be publicized. So tweet about what we're doing here.
Yes, it's not a cult. It's not a cult.
Share the link, invite your friends with middle belts, let them join. Let them join. So the more the merrier. Together we're stronger. We're stronger. So let's all do what we can to move forward.
Please
so I appreciate everybody's time.
We are not a cult. So we need as many people. Even APC, we need them here. PDP, we need them. Which other party? We need everybody. If a commissioner, in APC,
YPP,
and PDP, YPP, NPP, NR, we want everybody. Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, PPO, Muslim, Christian, even traditional herbalist, OPC, military, DSS, who else? We need all of them.
You are all welcome. If you want a better Nigeria, please join us.
Exactly. Abga was there. Everybody. I mean, it's like nobody is more Nigerian than another person. We're all Nigerians. And we all have to, take ownership. If there's one thing that hurts me about killing the NSAS movement, which I don't think is dead, is the fact that for the first time, Nigerian youth, became patriotic. And every Nigerian youth wants to travel. The average dream of the Nigerian youth is to travel. Do you know, each time I travel and I return, people keep asking me, why are you coming back? A lot of people abroad will say, go back home. And I'll be like, for what? Don't go back home. Oh, don't go back home. Stay here. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, I can't be a second-class citizen in another man's country. It is my country. It is here. We die here. All die and I die. Abi? All die and I die.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
So we have to make this work. 7 p.m. is our meeting tomorrow. Come early. Invite people. Share. It's the same link we used today that we're using tomorrow. Mohammed, please help us post the link again. Let's share it. It's not a secret court. I look forward to having someone who come on this Zoom. So
just see what we are doing. It's for his own good. A peaceful Lagos would be everybody.
Abi, this whole. I mean, I've been trying to talk to some of the people in the Lagos state government. You could see the ones who are youth. You could see everybody's doing. What's going on here?
Where are you running from?
This is not cultism now. It's not cultism. So please share. US, UK, all the diaspora group. That's why we created the Telegram group. We need everybody because we only have this week to create the global coalition. And then from next week, we start dividing into local government and cities. So we now create new group, links for you to then join. Location-based kind of grouping, city-based kind of grouping, and hopefully also we now start forming the leadership from location by location. So let's even have the location leadership, and then we can then start having state leadership, local government leadership, country leadership. So who is the leader of this movement in London, UK, and then it just begins to cascade, and then we have the global leadership. So guys, it's a global movement. We need everybody involved. Some people are saying, why is it public? It's intentionally public. It's intentionally on social media. We have no hidden agenda. There's nothing secret. We need imam. We need pastors. We need babalawo self. Join. Abi, join. So Nigeria belongs to everybody. In fact, we need thugs. If you call them thugs, you call them hoodlum. We need them here. We need them here. Okay? So it's Nigeria belongs to everyone and not for some people. If you commit a crime, let the security people fish you out and arrest you. Okay? But when it comes to conversation about Nigeria, everybody has a say. Everybody has a say. And I think that is very, very important. And I think that's part of what has been missing so far, where we have certain movements and it's as if we're excluding certain segment of people. And we saw it now. We saw it. I don't know if you agree that the real youth of Nigeria are those we call thugs and hoodlums. I don't know if you agree.
They are more.
The larger population.
Ashiri said it on Friday. I said everybody needs to go and watch the show on Friday. This stuff on Friday, I love what Ashiri said. The streets that the protesters occupied belongs to these guys.
Yes.
So you were borrowing their area.
Yes.
You were borrowing their, they just gave you time.
Yeah.
You took to the streets. That's their own life. They live on the streets.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, they are the people of the streets. Their place, not your place. And so you took their territory, and unfortunately, you didn't even carry them along in the leadership. And it's the truth. I'm very sure there's one, Olori Agbero in Tollgate around that, Lekki axis. If that guy had been involved, maybe they would not have used those people. Even in Ikeja, there must be somebody who is, even if it's NURTW, if it's whatever, there are people. Okay, there are people there. And the question is, we need to begin to reach out. Because if we don't, government will reach out to them and they will use them against us. That's the truth. They use them against us. So we need to reach out to the street. All these Oyibo, all these young youth elites, is as far as if you don't know, they are seeing you as one of the enemy. Maybe you have car, maybe you have iPhone, right? Alai, Ava, you right? You are one of the problem. So we need to bring them on board and say, I want to see some of them here who can even speak English. Let them speak. If it's Yoruba, they understand. If it's Igbo, they understand. If it's Niger Delta, they understand. I want to see them speak Hausa here, right? And tell us this is our grievances. This is our concern. Politicians máa lò wá during election. Election máa tán, COVID wọn fún wa nǹkankan, right? Wọ́n á máa fún wa 1,000. Kán wá sọ lórí show. Let them say it here. Okay? But we need to unite. And that's what this new Nigerian youth movement is about. Unite the nation, have the youth take over leadership. Okay? Across all levels. So we're not a political party. You say all these PDP, APC. No. They hijack. I know young people that I know who entered APC because they are minority. During election, by the way, they become majority. During election, one of my guy, he was like the main guy.
It's not a discussion between the hosts. People that are commenting, guys, it is open for you to comment and put it in the chat while reading the chat. I am reading the chat, and I will definitely mention anything you are bringing up. So if you have a contribution, you can put it in the chat. It's not necessarily everybody does a video conversation. I can read out your comment. If you're pressed to say something, put it in the chat. I will read it out. I will read it out. Thank you.
We have a secretary who also takes
taking the notes.
Yes,
the minutes.
taking the minute of this meeting and all of that. So tomorrow, I'm sure we'll have a larger deliberation. We're gradually fleshing up everything. At least today, we have achieved a structure. We now have all the 7 groups that we have. We've told all of you to go and join one, and by sending us email of your profile, your name, your phone number, your city, and which of the groups you want to join. Mohammed Adeleke, please post that again. We put the email. We've also said those of you want to join a press conference tomorrow, basically State of the Nation press conference, please do. And also, please, if you know any guy, TVC, I expect TMO will help us get people from TVC. We're not chasing them this time around. Okay, we need them there. Okay. Okay, that is owned by Tinubu. We need TVC in tomorrow's press conference. Okay, if you know somebody in channels, you know bloggers, people who have large social media following, please, we want to do a press conference tomorrow at Lekki Tollgate, addressing State of the Nation, addressing a couple of things we think government needs to do to help the young people to join the Judicial Panel of Inquiry. And we're willing to midwife that process if the government is also willing to listen to some of the advice we're giving, and hopefully we'll achieve all of that. Yes, they're going to list that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have Sean from Channels. Beautiful. Thank you. Your own name too is even Sean. Please help us reach out to all the media guys. Channels Television, The Nation, newspaper, TVC, LTV, all the newspaper, TV, radio, everybody. Good. Ahmed Akonde says, you know somebody in AIT, please, we need them. Okay, we need them. Let them just email us if they want to come. We're going to give them detail of the time. But definitely I feel in solidarity, because I just don't think anybody gains credibility to say you want to speak anything for the youth if you are not doing it at Lekki Tollgate. If you agree with me, type I agree. I mean, we can all do press conference anywhere, right? But because, let me tell you the truth, by the time the youth are reading the press conference, many of them will still accuse us of being biased. Okay, because like I told you, the youth don't want to even hear anything, meet government, do anything. They don't want to hear anything. Okay, as far as they are concerned. So at least being able to do that from Lekki Tollgate shows that we are in solidarity with the youths and we are youths ourselves, and we're not supporting any cover-ups. right? But we are encouraging that there should be dialogue. Okay, we're encouraging that there should be dialogue. Somebody say we should remember that we need to provide logistics. Well, if you are willing to donate towards the logistics for the media people, still send us a mail. What we will just do is whatever each media house is asking us for logistics, we just send you the account details straight up. Somebody is saying, let's show host his TV show. The youth needs to hear from me. If Sean reach out to me that he wants to host me on his 7 p.m. news, I will come now. You guys need to understand, I can't go and tell Sean to host me by fire by force now. Okay, you guys need to understand the dynamics of how this thing works. So I'm willing to go on any media house and calm the youths down, speak to the hearts and the soul of the youth, and encourage that we need to engage. It's time to engage the government. Those who still want to protest, I'm not against it, but it's time to start engaging the government. And I'm for that. Again, I risk backlash. People will abuse me, but that's what leadership is about. We need to engage. Okay? Love you all. Thank you so much for being part of tonight's broadcast. We love you. I appreciate you. Thank you, TMO, for moderating. Everyone who have spoken. We bless you. We thank you. I appreciate you all. You fantastic job. Thank you, Mohammed, for helping us take the note. Please, Imam, I need Northerners here. I want to see large numbers of Northerners. Share the WhatsApp group to them. This has to be a Nigerian conversation and not a Southern conversation. Nigerian youth conversation. And we'll still be here tomorrow. I hope we have more youths, more Northern youths join us. Very key to me. Very, very key to this, the success of this. I want to thank everybody once again. Love you all.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. Bye.
And keep posting all the links, as people exit, keep posting the links.